Listen to me. You go home. Don't say anything to anyone. I swear to you, I will bring him back, all right?
Wait, stop.
Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 7. So we of course had the second trailer for The Flash Season 7 drop a couple of days ago, which started the hype train for the upcoming season, which has us now being under 1 month until the show is back in our screens. Not very long to go at all. And of course, Season 7 will be coming out or starting about 10 months or so after Season 6 ended, which is crazy. That's a massive just gap in time. Usually it's about 5 months. So pretty much double the time between seasons, which is, yeah, just insane. Now, the new trailer provided a couple of big questions, which we will address over the next week or so in a couple of videos. But the portion of the trailer that we'll be focusing on in this video, and that's had a couple of people going, ooh, more than a couple of people might I say, going, ooh, what's going on there, is the re-emergence, if you want to call it, of the Blue Lightning. Now, of course, throughout the video, be sure to let me know your various opinions and thoughts and just any other theories you have about what's going on and that we might not go over in this video as well. I'm very curious to see what you think of what we go over, as well as what you can add if you have anything. So feel free to let me know in the comment section down below what you think is going on there. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video, why not drop a like on it? It always helps. Now, because we are talking about lightning, which does connect to speed or speedsters, we do have to bring up what is said and shown in the trailer in regards to the predicament, if you want to call it, that Barry finds himself in. Now, the first of these being that Chester P. Rung, or our good old boy, your boy Chester, says that Barry has 1% of his speed left at some point in the trailer. I think it's towards the end. Now, like, where that takes place in the episode or episodes is another question, because that could be in episode 2. It's probably episode 1, but it could be in episode 2. But wherever it takes place is another question. But it most likely takes place before some of the other events that we talk about later in the video. And we do see Barry in that chamber place, as I said, look like some sort of like Dragon Ball Z thing, which we now know is actually within the Mirrorverse, as the screens on it are reversed. So, or at least it's presented that way. You never know. Maybe it's in the normal world and the editors like flipped it around to make us think it's in the Mirrorverse. Like they do that in various trailers. Like if you go like some movie trailers, shots will be flipped to make them look better. But in the actual movie, they're the other way around. Now, you'd have to think this is actually meant to be flipped because it's in the Mirrorverse, but maybe they're trying to mess with us. I don't know. But I guess the big question around this is like, what does that chamber do? Does it heal him, or does Barry randomly wake up here at some point? We'll have to wait and find out. It's not overly relevant to what we talk about here. Now, obviously in the trailer, there's actually 2 points that we see this, but the main one that people are referring to is Blue Lightning coming off Barry when he's like running through the speed lab or around the speed lab by the looks of it. And there's even a chance of some purple. I did see some people saying that was purple. I noticed that as well. It sort of looks purple, like almost like Nora or XS's colored lightning, or the one she had mixed in there, like that light purple. It's not like Iris's, which is more of like a darker shade. It's more like XS's, which is a bit of a lighter one. It's hard to be 100% sure if it is actually purple. It's some weird lighting going on, like a filter. You can easily see the blue. The purple's a bit of a like 50-50 if you want to call it. So we won't focus on that, but maybe it's a thing. Now, Blue Lightning has, usually represented velocity, whether it's velocity 1, 2, or velocity 9 or something like that on the show. However, lightning does shift colors in the comics based on how fast you are traveling. So your lightning color usually indicates how fast you are. And blue is actually one of the top colors alongside indigo, or like it could be like that shade of purple. So it's faster than the yellow, orange, or red that is, usually seen on the show. So does blue in the trailer that's coming off Barry represent velocity? So is Barry taking it, or is Barry just going, very, very fast? So blue is coming through, and they're sort of changing the canon around in regards to why Blue Lightning shows up and everything like that. Which of course, which suggests like velocity isn't taking part in it at all if it is just based off speed. And the fact that it is mostly the standard yellowish lightning that we'd normally see come off Barry, and just like, so there's just like these speckles and little sparks of blue lightning coming through, that would suggest it isn't velocity and something else. If it was velocity, you think it would just be straight up blue, or it would have just completely turned blue or something like that. While here, it looks like it's just speckling through, from what we can see at least. Maybe 10 seconds after this, all of a sudden Barry's completely blue lightning or something. And in regards to if it is just speckling through, someone might bring this up, and that's when we saw Godspeed in season 7, which was his first appearance. He did have that speckles of blue lightning flickering on him and on his lightning and stuff as well, which was white. And then when Nora saw that, it made her realize it was actually the velocity that he was using. However, it's important to remember that Godspeed, he was using it for a while. So I'm not too sure if it would make 100% sense, in my eyes at least, that it would be the same with Barry if he just used it like 2 seconds before. You think you'd have to be like a frequent user? Like when we saw Trajectory use it, it was because she'd been using it for so long and became like addicted to it. It wasn't after her first or second go. So I don't know if it would just come through Barry straight away, unless it's because he was running so fast, then the velocity started to seep through. I don't know. So that's like the first thing that people have really talked about, like the fact of whether it's just like Barry's going so fast and the blue comes through, or whether it is something attached to velocity or something along those lines. But another thing is that this could be actually the new Speed Force lightning. So what we're seeing here is that the blue mixed in with the white and then or the yellow, and there might be some like maybe even purple, as I said before. That could be the color of this new artificial Speed Force, because it wouldn't be the natural one. So it wouldn't be like what we had before with Barry. So maybe it is this different color scheme, which would be a leap, I think, maybe to completely change it when now Barry has this yellowy, whitey, bluey, purple lightning behind him. I think that's too much. I think at least outside of just one episode, if it's just one episode, then that's fine. But I think doing that for more than that and changing it completely is a bit weird. I don't know if anyone would be on board with that. I don't think I would, at least. But of course, we have the negative Speed Force, and that lightning's red. So maybe with a new Speed Force comes a new lightning color. But that just seems a bit too much to me, at least. That's just me personally. Maybe you guys might like that. Yeah, we have this multicolored lightning now that the new Speed Force is there. Personally, I like the old, the classic one you see with the Flash. So maybe that's just me, but I don't know. However, and this is the thing that I think might be going on. I'd actually love it if this was the case. And the one thing that this could represent, and this is what I'm going to put my $10 on. This is my bet. I'm not saying it's right. This is just what I want to happen, and I'm willing to put money on it just in the hopes that it would happen. And that this little speckle or flicker of blue lightning coming through is actually the old Speed Force returning. So in the trailer, we do see that blue spark going from hand to hand. Now, that I'm 99% sure is a flashback to when Barry was in a coma and Iris touched his hand, which then gets brought back later in season 1 when Barry's like dressed as the Flash and like I think saves Iris on a bridge or moves her away from Reverse Flash, something like that. And then when he's running away from touching Iris, the blue flicker comes again. So there's 2 different moments in season 1 where there's blue lightning. It's not white lightning, it's specifically blue spark lightning between Barry and Iris. So whether they flash back to that moment in this episode and it connects to when Barry's running is once again another question. Wouldn't be too surprising if that's the case and stuff like that. But it could be indicating like the Barry's connection to the Speed Force reigniting. And it's also important to remember we do have that moment in the trailer where Barry is talking to a shadowy figure in a super dark room. And this could be like the almost dead Speed Force. So Barry has traveled into the Speed Force one last time to maybe try and revive it or something like that. It's no longer lit up with all the power it had. It's all dark and dreary and almost gone. We're not too sure who he's talking to. A lot of people think it's maybe like the OG Wells from season 1, or it's Wellsabard, so the one in a wheelchair, or it could be his mother with her hair up and glasses. It's hard to tell exactly who it is because it doesn't really reflect who his mother has been in the Speed Force before. So I think Wells is a good choice, but it's a different version of Wells. It's not Nash. So maybe Barry is able to save the old and natural Speed Force before it is completely gone forever. And that's how we see like the blue lightning and stuff flicker and everything like that. It would be a fairly cool scene because, as I said, we had the blue flicker with the coma and everything like that. But it's also important to remember that all this could suggest that the new Speed Force device thing that they made fails, that we've seen like that big orb building thing. Because there are shots in the trailer where Barry's like super emotional around that area, which could suggest that it fails to give him his speed back. And due to that, he comes to the conclusion that maybe he is done as the Flash, but also that Iris could be lost forever. So maybe that fails, and him going into the Speed Force is his like last hope, because we see him once again in that dark and dreary area, sort of like once again struck with emotion, and then he starts to talk to someone. So maybe that's what's happening there. It's going to be very interesting to find out how it all plays out. But yeah, guys, those are pretty much the things that people are talking about in regards to it. So what do you think? Do you think it's attached to, like, the blue lightning is attached to him getting faster, or maybe attached to a velocity 9 or something around that? Do you think it's attached to the new Speed Force lightning? Just how, like, the negative Speed Force is red, this new lightning color is attached to that new artificial one? Or do you think it's about reigniting the old Speed Force with the blue flickers like we'd seen in previous, or season 1, when Barry's initial connection to the Speed Force was initiated? Which one do you think it is? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, let me know if you enjoyed the video, it would be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show support. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.